So I'm going to go ahead and test the XFCE4 panel on the latest 1910 build. So of course you'd be right-clicking panel preferences, and for a new user who is going through these settings, they'll be going from top to bottom, so in the same way we'll do so here. So the first thing is the panel, and of course it's highlighting here indicating this is the panel. The next thing is the backup and restore. If they click this, for some reason or another the panel preferences is closed, which I think it should stay open, and they can select a different layout and click apply, and it will change the layout. Ideally, once they've done that, they could close, they could go in and have the panel preferences still open so that they could make additional changes if they wanted to. But for me, when I was using it and starting off with Ubuntu, the panel's here at the top, and all I wanted to do was simply to go and change the location. As someone was coming from Windows, all I wanted to do was simply move the panel from the top to the bottom. Unfortunately, this option is not given here under mode, and I think that it should be there, and as it's not there, I had to fiddle around and finally found out that I had to click to unlock the panel, then to drag it. But instead, entry in here, this says horizontal, this should be set as top or horizontal top, and we should have a second one for horizontal bottom. And then, like here, you click vertical and then you click horizontal, and the same way we should have horizontal top and horizontal bottom, so it's easier for someone to do that switch. When it came to the backup and restore, those settings from the other dialog ideally should be here for easier access and to simplify the process for new users. Separate from that, I noticed that if we shrunk all of these down, you can see that the number of rows slider is larger than the other two. So ideally all three of them should end at the exact same place, and all of them should align at the same place, being left aligned. There was another issue here with the size. The letter S should be in small, and let's set it back to its original with Ubuntu. One of the things I wanted to suggest is increasing the panel size from its default 24 pixels to 26. And I noticed that if I selected the slider and pressed up and down, pressing up goes down and pressing down goes up. I felt this is a weird behavior and should be reversed. But like I said, I believe that a good size for the panel is around 26 pixels. For a laptop, at least my size laptop, which is 1366 into 768, while as on my desktop, which was 1440 into 900, 28 was a more reasonable size for it to be easily seen. At 26 pixels for the panel, I noticed the number of the icons were not large enough, so I had to go into here into appearance and adjust it here to get it to the right size. But ideally at 26 it should be, you can see over here how large the icon is, and ideally it should be at a similar size automatically, but it's maybe 20 or 18 pixels for its size. Now that we've finished reviewing the dialog, I also wanted to suggest that additional panel presets be added. One for Redmine, a new version of Redmine, because the current Redmine version is from Windows XP. A new Redmine version which is similar to Windows 7, which would have the whisker menu and others, as well as one which looks similar to Mac OS, and possibly another one which looks similar to Ubuntu's Unity. So those were the three that I thought would be good additions, as Ubuntu Mate had added similar ones, at least for Mac OS X and Unity. So finally, I want to show an example of what the finalized or modified dialog would look like. This is how the old one or the current one, and this was my suggestion. I suggested the presets be added here to the top, and you have buttons for saving the current configuration, and the same backup and restore button is here without a label. Then we lowered the customization panel to here. We changed the modes, so we have the horizontal top, we would have a horizontal bottom, we would have a vertical left, vertical right, and desk bar left and desk bar right. And as mentioned, you have the size has been corrected, and the slider has also been corrected. And those are the different suggestions and recommendations I would give for improving the XFCE4 panel.